Now, I was here earlier today when it was a little bit warmer, and I saw Show Me State game workers setting up soccer goals like this one. This right here is actually the tile that he shot into. You can see where the bullet went straight through the tile. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but people are saying this experience was extremely terrifying. Meanwhile, out here right where I'm standing, about 20 or other demonstrators were holding up signs, chanting anything to make their voice be heard. Journalists are usually the first, along with law enforcement, to arrive on the scene. But what happens when these two groups cross paths? This time last week, 7 units responded to a fire that started right here late in the evening hours. You can see this door right behind me where the window is actually cracked and the burn marks go all the way down the door. New lotto games will be put into effect this year, hopefully getting more people to buy lottery tickets in order to help fund schools. The intersection right behind me, Old 63 and Stadium Boulevard, is what committee members are hoping to reconstruct. Those chemicals make their way by Missouri rivers, lakes, streams like the Missouri River, causing more damage than some may realize. Governor Jay Nixon also stressed the fact that there have been no outbreaks of Ebola within Missouri, but if one were to occur, they're ready. I was at the protest rally this afternoon and hundreds filled the Capitol Rotunda, lining the stairs and leaving no seat empty. The rally lasted about 2 hours, but these protesters want their message to last forever. Well, Jim, when I sat down with her last night, she had such a calmness about her, a calmness that chimpanzees and animals have all been drawn to for years. This is a copy of the current Missouri law, and it says a mother may breastfeed her child in any public or private setting. And this is the Warrensburg ordinance saying a mother cannot breastfeed around any pools run by Parks and Recs. The state and city rules don't seem to be matching up, and that is urging concerned residents and parents to speak out against the ordinance.
Because that really is how it is, and I'm not the only mother that's been made to feel like a harlot for doing something so basic.
Something as basic as breastfeeding. Shara Ortavitas is a mother who says she's been asked to leave Warrensburg Parks and Rec pool not 1, not 2, but 3 times. In our initial report, Warrensburg said breastfeeding was not allowed because of sanitation issues.
We're treating breastfeeding mothers just like we treat everybody else that comes to the pool that wants to eat or drink by the side of the pool. You know, we're not carving out a special section for them.
Breastfeeding was considered the same as eating or drinking near a pool. After being approached over the years, Ortavitas repeatedly approached the city at public meetings. At one meeting, she printed off 9 copies of a rule book Canada follows about breastfeeding near a pool. She asked the board to read it and consider implementing the same rules in Warrensburg. That's when she says breastfeeding became indecent exposure.
And then they turned around and wrote a resolution. All breastfeeding shall take place with appropriate covering such as the breast is not open to public view. And what they cited there was Warrensburg's indecent exposure statute.
But it didn't stop there.
So we nursed, she nurses asleep. This time I got a tap on the shoulder by the Warrensburg Police Department.
Ortavitas provided KMU8 News with the ticket she got from police and an attached memo. She says it's from Parks and Rec, briefing police on how to treat mothers who fail to comply with breastfeeding rules.
It will be important on the PD side that officers are informed that we don't want to book anyone on these incidences, only issue tickets for either exposure or for trespass. She's instructing the police department to ticket mothers for indecent exposure or trespassing.
KMU8 News tried contacting Matthews for a week for this story, but she refused an interview. She talked to us over the phone, denying any recent ticketing of mothers at the pool. Now, this issue may be over for mothers like Ortavitas, because 2 days after KMU8's initial report, the city passed a new resolution saying, quote, any prior rules in conflict of the new resolution are repealed. Mothers may now breastfeed near or around a pool.
Hopefully through my story and through the new laws, no mother will ever be made to feel like this again.
Parks and Rec says there are no plans to revisit the issue and it has been resolved. Shale Remien, KMU8 News, Warrensburg. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, since 2003, homicide rates in Missouri have increased 66% among 10 to 24-year-olds. I spoke to Marcus Buford this afternoon, and he talked to me about what his plans are to reach a young audience. Marcus Buford is hosting a toy drive, but not just any toy drive. Any kid who brings in a toy gun can exchange it for a new toy or a $5 gift card. Buford is also the executive director of Operation Kite Foundation. It aims to tutor kids and reconnect them with imprisoned parents. With all the violence in the news and holidays here, Buford has shifted his efforts.
It seems as though every time we turn around, there's something in the news, something happening in our schools, something happening in our communities in a negative way, and it's all associated with gun violence. So I think now is the proper time to address it and try and make some type of changes in a positive way.
Marcus Buford started working on gun violence awareness posters like this one about 2 years ago. He says he wants to talk to Columbia Public Schools about implementing them in the hallways. Buford says the loss of 3 close friends due to guns pushes him every day to raise awareness. He says it's important to make kids aware at a young age.
They tend to want to play with guns and cowboys and Indians, and in the African American community, the game of cowboys and Indians, unfortunately, progresses to the kid growing older and playing Bloods and Crips and actually taking lives. If we can try and contact the kid or intervene with the kid at a young age, then I think that would go a long way to curbing the violence that we see at an older age.
Kids can swap out their toy gun from today until Christmas. For more information on how to get into contact with Buford about the toy exchange, visit our website, komu.com. I sat down with Billy Harper this afternoon, and he told me his side of an incident that resulted in a shooting last Saturday. Police say Harper tried forcing his way into a home on Rocky Fort Drive and hit the person who opened the door with a pistol. Police reports say someone in the home then shot Harper. Harper says the only part of those accusations that are true is that he got shot. According to Billy Harper, no good deed goes unpunished. Because last Saturday, he says he was shot when he tried checking up on a friend who left a voicemail saying he'd been attacked.
So I go to the girlfriend's house to see if he's okay. Well, come to find out, I guess that the girlfriend's house was where the fight took place at.
A man answered the door, and Harper says he asked for his friend.
Asked, well, what's going on, you know? And then once I said, what's going on, that's when I seen that gun. And they didn't ask no question. They didn't tell me to leave, none of that.
Harper was shot in the arm and the left-hand side of his body. He says all the accusations don't match up.
You did not have a handgun?
No, I did not.
You did not hit someone in the face with a handgun?
I did not.
Detective Tom O'Sullivan says the house has been a problem in the past.
You know, the one thing I want to emphasize, this is 2:30 in the morning. You're going to a house where you really don't know the people who live there. That really is not a good idea.
Harper has a 1-year-old son and says the circumstances have impacted his life long term.
I've done lost my job, a career job, not just a, you know. I actually worked hard to get to where I'm at, you know, and all of it's gone for me just trying to help a friend out, just to make sure my friend was okay. And because they had more friends there, you know what I mean, their story seems more believable than mine because I'm outnumbered, basically.
Detective O'Sullivan says this is an ongoing investigation and Harper's fate will be decided in court.